We all reach a point where forward motion stops. You hit a physical barrier or a mental block, and your momentum grinds to a halt. In that moment of total friction, our brains do something predictable. We look at the halt in progress and instinctively interpret it as a permanent dead end. Under this kind of pressure, we trap ourselves in a rigid binary. We believe we must either scale the obstacle flawlessly on the first try, or we have to walk away entirely. Choosing to walk away drops the probability of future progress to absolute zero. By opting out, we mathematically guarantee our own failure, simply because we eliminate any chance of a second attempt. But there is a loophole in that logic. What happens if we take that instinct to walk away and aim it backward? What if we turned the act of quitting against itself? This is the paradox of quitting. It is an active, conscious decision to eliminate a specific habit, the habit of giving up. Lasting mastery doesn't require you to be perfect from the start. It only requires you to deploy this one counterintuitive strategy. Before you can tackle any external barrier, you have to rewire your internal outlook. A positive mindset serves as a pragmatic tool for maintaining self-belief under extreme pressure. It provides the psychological leverage needed to remain in the game when things get tough. This chart maps the relationship between internal belief and external success. Your upward trajectory directly tracks with your attitude. Locked in, this belief hardens into a firm bedrock, providing the structural support to make quitting possible. Mastering this internal mindset is the prerequisite for changing your life's trajectory. You have to secure the internal foundation long before taking physical action. Once that internal wiring is set, the strategy manifests in the real world as resilience. There is a common misunderstanding here. Refusing to give up does not prevent you from failing. It simply dictates how you react when you do. Mechanically speaking, resilience is shock absorption. It is the structural capacity to take a severe impact, compress under the weight, and immediately rebound. This mechanism takes the kinetic energy of a breakdown and converts it. The force of the drop becomes the exact momentum needed for the next attempt. By engaging with challenges instead of retreating, the friction of adversity becomes the very source of your strength. Zooming out to the chronological timeline, this isn't a one-time event. It is a lifelong commitment. It operates on continuous evolution. In this system, learning and evolving are permanent, ongoing requirements rather than a phase you graduate from. This contrasts two models of success. The top line assumes a straight path to a fixed destination. The bottom illustrates the realistic model, a continuous journey. This framework insulates you from setbacks. Temporary failures cannot stop the larger upward trend. True growth functions as a systemic engine. Powered by an absolute refusal to stop, individual failures become irrelevant to the larger trajectory. We need to evaluate the standard model of success, which is built on the expectation of flawless execution. Real-world achievement is rarely a straight line of unbroken wins. The idea that mastery requires perfection is a myth that fails under scrutiny. The evidence shows a different rule. Success is a byproduct of outlasting the internal urge to stop. Predicting long-term mastery doesn't come down to a lack of errors. It comes down to raw endurance. The moment you decide to stop giving up, the math of your potential changes. By removing the option to exit, you force your mind to work through obstacles it previously would have avoided. The self-imposed boundaries of what you think is possible start to dissolve because you no longer allow them to be a stopping point. Staying in the game retains every potential outcome that quitting would have deleted. It keeps you eligible for solutions and opportunities that only reveal themselves to those who survive the initial friction. Quitting is the functional mechanism that keeps your life moving forward. By refusing to let a setback be the end of the story, you ensure that the story continues.